Welcome again. Let's talk about the critical issue, the thing that you have to watch out for, the thing that you have to be really careful with when solving inequalities, which actually you can avoid if you do what I'm going to show you next. If you choose not to do what I'm going to show you next, you have to be super careful with inequalities because they are a little bit tricky in one particular regard. Let's look at the same question done in two different ways and see what happens, okay? So we're going to start with this pretty seemingly simple looking inequality. X plus 15 is less than or equal to 7 minus x. This is how I would do it. This is how I recommend you do it, because it avoids potential problems and getting the answer wrong at the very last step. If you don't do this, you may get some marks, but you will not get full marks if you're not careful. So let me show you how I would do it. As always, I would start by looking at it and asking myself, which side of the inequality has got the least amount of my variable, so the least amount of x. Now you may think that both sides have only got one x, so both sides have the same amount. But that's not true. The question was, which side has got the least amount of x? And this x is positive, is 1x. This x is negative, is minus 1. And last time I checked, 1 is bigger than minus 1. So this side here has got a lower amount of x because minus 1 is less than 1. So, whichever side of the inequality has got the least amount of x's are the ones that I'm going to get rid of. Okay, I think he was solving inequalities and he got the answer wrong, I think. So, whichever side has got the least amount of x is the one I'm going to get rid of, is the one I'm going to move to the other side, however you think about it. So I've got minus 1x here. What am I going to do? I'm going to add 1x to both sides of the inequality. And I've got that now. Okay, now I want to have the 2x on their own. I'll take away 15 from both sides. 7 take away 15, I believe it's minus 8. And now I want to get rid of the 2, so divide by 2. X is less than or equal to minus 4. That is the perfect answer. I do apologize for my screaming child, but it's what it is. You were like that once. Alright, that is the perfect answer. Same question. What if I did things slightly, so we need to remind ourselves that x has to be less than or equal to minus 1. What if I did things a different way? What if instead of moving the minus x to that side, I did it the other way? I took that x off there. And this is what I recommend you don't do, but in case you do, be mindful of the following thing. In order to get rid of that 1x, because it's a positive x, I have to take away 1x from both sides. So I would have 15 less than or equal to 7 minus 2x. And now I want to have the minus 2x on its own. So I need to take away 7 from both sides. So I get that 8 is less than or equal to minus 2x. And now divide both sides by minus 2, so I get that minus 4, because 8 divided by minus 2 is minus 4, is less than or equal to x. Look at what's happened here, because I could rewrite this, remember, as x is greater than or equal to minus 4, isn't it? So long as the x is on the same side of the inequality side. This answer here, x is greater than or equal to minus 4, is not the same as that one there, x is less than or equal to minus 4. This is the perfect answer. That answer is correct. Here, I've got the wrong answer. These two things are not the same. And I haven't done anything wrong. My algebra is perfectly fine. My manipulation of the inequality is fine. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is, with an inequality, this is something you have to be very careful with. Whenever you multiply or divide both sides of the inequality by a negative number, you need to flip around the direction of the inequality. So in this step here, so when I went from here to there, I didn't change the direction of the inequality. What I should have done here, 8 less than or equal to minus 2x, is when I divided by minus 2, I would have done minus 4, and because it's an inequality, and because I've divided, or multiplied, but in this case, because I have divided by a negative number, I needed to have changed the direction of the inequality, and then I would have got the right answer. And this is one thing that you have to be really careful with when working with inequalities. Very peculiar thing. Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to change the direction of the inequality. You do not have to worry about this problem if you always choose the side with the least amount of x's. Sorry, there's a glare there. If you always choose the least amount of x's on the inequality to move to the other side, okay? Although maybe, no, that will always take care of the problem. So this is what I recommend you do. However, if you don't, be very careful, and remember, I'm going to say one final time. Whenever you multiply or divide an inequality by a negative sign, you need to change the direction of the inequality, okay? So that was it. Something to make you aware of, something for you to be careful with, because you don't want to get to the end and drop 1 mark in the exam for something tricky but relatively simple as well. Okay, so that's it. That's inequalities. Good luck. Keep working, and let me know if any problems.